Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Tuesday to you and your family. We're taking a look here, of course, at HBAR. Got a lot of requests for this one recently, and I can totally see why. It's actually got a really perfect pattern I want to kind of discuss with you here. We're going to take a look at this and much more, of course. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I do love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. Obviously, we do. Consider joining. CryptoCash.tech is a site linked down below. We have an awesome Discord community here. Trade signals, both day trade and swing trade. We took nice 1% from Ethereum. It should have been a 10x, but we didn't actually get filled on that. XRP of 5%, 12% for BNB. This is just our day trades that happen pretty much daily. We've also got swing trades too, just like to bring this to your attention as well. Nice 4.5% for a spot trade in 20 hours. But more important, it took us 4 hours to make 25% from Render token yesterday, as well as Bitcoin 3 days, 26%. So awesome stuff. Congrats again to my community members for that. Very last request too, help us grow our Twitter community. Be part of the first 100 to join us over there. We got tons of technical, fundamental analysis, and of course, some fun along the way too. So the great thing about this is we were able to interact with our community members, and it's a nice way to be able to just kind of stay in the know, right? It's cool to be able to talk to my traders, my friends across the globe. So thanks again for being an awesome supporter of the channel. I know you know who you are, of course, because you've probably been watching my videos for the last couple of years, and I greatly appreciate it. Okay. So HBAR, this is something I want to talk about here. So really quick, the important thing to note with HBAR is that we have some awesome characteristical signs here of the price breaking through resistance levels and retesting its support, as well as previous zones. What I mean by that here is we take a look at this level here. We can see the price action at 0.786 at 46.5 cents mark, essentially holding strong as a support level because that was a previous resistance. We saw that area, that range tested twice in the last couple of days, and now it broke through. Okay, so again, cool stuff there in that sense. We've also got this nice ascending trend, but we're still establishing higher lows. Okay, as long as that continues, we'll be in good shape to break through this resistance area. And that resistance areas that I'm talking about is basically this 47.76 cent mark. We wicked up there previously, wicked up there again today, and we got to pay attention to it. Okay? So something that could be a point of contention, but you got to recognize too, Bitcoin is having a very nice day here today. Okay, consolidating above 27,200, that key level resistance. So a lot of altcoins are kind of taking off a little bit. You do got to recognize too, though, big picture, Bitcoin dominance is extremely high. Okay, so in the big picture, we are still looking very good. I wouldn't expect a lot of altcoins to surge just yet, but potentially soon. The fact that HBAR is doing very well for itself this early on is a great sign. It's uncommon for, well, I wouldn't say this coin, but just in general, a lot of altcoins to kind of surge when Bitcoin dominance is high. I'm covering a lot of those coins that are doing well because they're the ones we want to pay attention to, like Render, for example. Yesterday, we got a nice almost 5% in just a one trading day. That's a healthy gain, especially at 5 to 10, 20x, right? So cool stuff there. HBAR has definite potential there, but we want to pay attention to it. So let's go ahead and work our way down from the daily and see what is going on here. All right, so for starters, on the daily, we can see here that we are looking pretty healthy in the overall sense of things. What I mean by that is we're getting closer to 50 on the RSI. We have not been above 50 on the RSI in almost 2 months, right? April 19th was the last time we were above it. We retested it back on April 30th. But generally speaking, it's just been a descending trend. Okay, you can kind of see this descending trend here just working its way down. Cool thing is, if you take a look at that descending trend, today's the first day we're peaking up above that level. It's a great sign. It doesn't imply that we're making higher highs just yet, but it does imply that we're making higher lows. That's a starting point. Starting of any start to a descending trend redirection or a breaking of a descending trend is a higher low first, followed by a higher high. We have a higher low so far. We need to establish higher highs by breaking that level there, as we discussed previously at 0.047. I think I might have misspoke. It's 4.7 cents, not 47 cents. Okay, so 4.7 cents. All right, now take a look here at the MACD. We're converging quite strong on the daily. That's fantastic. We love to see that. It's extremely important. It's a good start. We also want to see where the moving averages are. And we're currently getting rejected by the 20-day SMA. That's a very common characteristic because that is a descending trend sign. It's basically the first thing you want to look at on any type of ascending or descending trend. Are we above the 20? The 20-day SMA holds strong here still so far. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. It's common to get rejected the first time you retest resistance. But once again, something to pay attention to. Okay, so me personally, I like to buy the dips, so that 4.65 mark might be a better place to get in versus trying to get up there when the price is waking up. Okay, again, we'll look at overextension and see, but generally speaking here, we're not out of the woods yet on the the daily, but we are in a position where we're getting closer to 50 on the RSI. I'm going to feel more bullish on HBAR when we're above 50 on the RSI. Personally, that's what I'm looking for. All right, so that's again just the daily. Another confirming factor that we want to pay attention to. This candlestick here is not fantastic. That is essentially a gravestone or start of a gravestone pattern. So we want to kind of be mindful that we're not in great shape yet, but breaking through this resistance here is awesome because it's really common for the price to come up, consolidate at that previous resistance turn support, and to accelerate from there. Okay, so awesome stuff there. We can see here on the 4 hour, we are also above 50 in the RSI, which is a great place to be. Tells us we're mostly on the right side of the tracks in the 4 hour. Again, you stay on the right side of the tracks in the 4 hour for so long, it'll translate to the daily, and that'll give us those good candles that we're looking for. On the MACD, we can see we're converging here as well. So mostly bullish on the 4 hour. We also want to take a quick look at the 4 hour moving averages. We're below the 200, which is disadvantageous. 4.9 cents is that point that we want to pay attention to. There's a good chance the price goes sideways, kind of does a little bit of this for a while, that we'll retest that 200 eventually, or inevitably the 200 is working its way down. Okay, so again, just know if we break through a 4.7, it may not be a run to the moon from there. It'll probably be a rejection point at the 4.9, 4.8 cents mark. Okay, just something to pay attention to. Nothing we need to worry about just yet. The key is we want to break above this 4.7 mark and consolidate there. That'd be much more helpful than we are at right now because we need to establish higher highs. We haven't done that yet. Okay, now this could be the start of a descending type of pattern where we have this kind of breakout that's much more long-term big picture. We'll worry about that later. Right now we got to celebrate the fact the 4 hour looks pretty good, but we also got to note that it looks fairly overextended on the hourly. So let's take a quick peek here at the hourly TD sequential. We're at a 9. Bitcoin's also at a, well, actually it's at a 7. We're coming up to a 9. Okay. That being said, Bitcoin could run a little further, but probably not, right? And this is a key takeaway here as well. A lot of alts are getting hit hard with Bitcoin dominance being high. That being said, most altcoins are just not having, they're not having great days. So when we have these overextensions like this on certain coins, you can expect them to pull back harder and more aggressive than other coins because there's profit to be taken. You got to understand money's a motivator for all the whales. They're the ones controlling the market, and they are the one taking the profits at this point. So try not to be a hodler in the sense of trying to turn a swing trade into a hodl trade. You want to take some profits while you still can. That's why we always set realistic targets on ours based on Fibonacci retracement level for our community members, because we want to make sure that we always take profits and we're securing those every month. Yeah. Now we're constantly growing our portfolios and it's been very profitable. Yes, there was a couple bad months. I think March was a really bad month for us, but generally speaking, we're still in the green if you average everything out throughout the last few months. Okay. Again, the only reason why we're there is because we're taking profits. So again, try not to get too overly greedy, but a 9 on TD sequential here, based on that kind of overextension going to that resistance level, it would be probably best to consider taking some profit. So let's take a look at the cloud and kind of see what that tells us. Probably be on the right side of the tracks here. All green lights here, no reason to close your position. But in the next 12 to 24 hours, if we see the price stuck in the same range, it may be a good consideration to close your position because that momentum has lost. Okay. Again, something to kind of think about. Let's take a look at where the volume is accumulating. We've seen the most volume in the last 24 hours at 4.5. So that is essentially a support range there. So if we do lose this level here at about 4.65, we could very well see the price consolidate around 4.55. Okay, so again, if the price pulls back to this level, which it kind of already has, don't expect it just to continue to take off. We are still honoring this ascending trend even if we pull down to 4.55. So to me, I would much rather get an entry at this level here than the current. So I'm just going to set an alert there. If that alert triggers and Bitcoin's doing well, again, emphasis on Bitcoin doing well or just going sideways, then we're going to be in a position where that might be a good entry. Okay, again, we'll reevaluate later. Never just jump right in based on the simple fact that you set alert, unless you're dollar cost averaging. We want to kind of make sure we're in good shape there. But there, at that point, really, that's just kind of what we're looking for there. So I'm looking for confirmation to close at 4.65 today on the daily. We need to have that as a starting point. A closure above that level would be great because then we'd be kind of confirming that we broke through this most recent high resistance level. So to keep in mind, 4.68, just maybe see round number 4.7 is an area we want to close above in order to have any confirmation that we might continue higher. But to me, we're overextended on the hourly. It makes sense for us to pull back on the short term. So I would anticipate somewhat of a pullback. I'd like to buy the next dip, either where the price is at right now at 4.6 or 4.55. That's what I'm looking for. All right. I hope that was beneficial for you. Again, one last request here, if you could please help us grow our Twitter community. Greatly appreciate those who have become part of our first 100 followers there. And we're considering having some giveaways here soon, of course, for our first 100, as well as obviously some other benefits as well. So be sure to like, follow, retweet, the whole 9 yards there. Greatly appreciate you joining us here. We have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.